Hey, today I'm talking about 3 Billy Wilder comedies. And the names of those 3 movies are Kiss Me Stupid, Some Like It Hot, and The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. First up is Kiss Me Stupid. This is a 1964 film starring Dean Martin, Kim Novak, Ray Walston, and Felicia Farr. And the basic premise is Ray is this small town piano teacher but wants to be a big time composer. Well, one day, famous singer played by Dean gets stranded in their small town. And of course, classic comedy fashion, Ray decides the best way to convince Dean to help him is to get him a woman to have sex with, but he doesn't want him to actually have sex with his wife, so he hires a different woman played by Kim Novak to pretend to be his wife and then let him have sex with his wife. And like, oh my god, I mean, like, that premise is so silly, but it kind of works. Firstly, I loved the opening because it really set up Dean's character. He's playing a show in Las Vegas and everyone's hysterically laughing, and I'm like, I don't find any of this funny. And then one of the waiters also is like, I don't find any of this funny. And I'm like, oh cool, so we're not supposed to actually find this guy hilarious, but understand that he is really popular. So like, that was just great setup. And then like all throughout too, just to continue with him, he's just such a sleaze. I really like later in the film when Kim first meets him, she is kind of taken in by his celebrity, but she quickly realizes he's a nobody. He doesn't have moves, he doesn't have swagger. He's just literally using his celebrity and then not putting in any more effort. She very quickly wants nothing to do with him. And then on top of it, as pretending to be this other man's wife, he talks about the love he has for his wife and the song that he played her to convince her to date him. And she hears the song and she just swoons because it's like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful song, firstly, but then to have someone put in all this time and effort for you, like, that's also so beautiful. Kim's character is so tragic because she hates the small town life. She just accidentally got stuck here and can't get out of here. And like, she loves love and wants the beautiful marriage situation, but just has had terrible luck with men over and over again. And like, she knows she's beautiful too, and she knows she has that effect on men, but she also knows that a lot of the men who are coming after her aren't the men who are going to write her a beautiful ballad. Just everything about Kim was so good. It's just like, you want to give her a big old hug, but she's also so strong and smart. Everything about her is great, and the resolution is also perfect. The kind of crux of the film is that the husband is super jealous of any man giving his wife any sort of attention, just because he's like, she's a 10 and he's not, so he's very insecure, which is funny, but I could see being grating if it was like an actual marriage. I loved the wife a lot, Felicia. She's just gorgeous. I fell madly in love with her, and how can you not? But her character was just so much fun. Like, the husband was trying to make this whole fake fight thing, and she was just kind of playing along with it, but also not really playing, but actually kind of agreeing. Like, there's this whole thing where he started criticizing her mother, and she's like, yeah, no, my mother is kind of terrible, right? My favorite moment with her was when she got drunk near the end. That was just brilliant. I could kind of keep raving about her. She's so good, so fun, so interesting. So yeah, no, this is just a really solid, fun little movie. Like, it's definitely ridiculous. Trying to convince someone to have sex with your fake wife is preposterous, but it's fun. It's got a great cast, great story, humor lands, looks good. Like, yeah, no, thoroughly enjoyed, definitely recommend. Next up is Some Like It Hot. This is a 1959 film starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. And the basic premise is Tony and Jack play struggling musicians who inadvertently witness some crime. So now they have to go on the run. And the way they decide to go on the run is by pretending to be women in an all-women band. And it's decent. I will say off the bat that I do like Jack Lemmon a lot, and I do like Tony Curtis a lot, but I'm not the biggest Marilyn fan. She just doesn't grab me the way it seems she does to everyone else. I don't dislike her, she just doesn't do it for me. I'm not talking about looks, like she's beautiful, obviously. I definitely liked the opening car chase, that was a lot of fun. And then when the boys show up, it's definitely electric. They really add life and energy to the film, and they're always really fun. The whole train ride was probably my favorite part of the film, because it's just the boys first figuring out how to be women, also like swooning over every single woman in this band. It's very silly, it's very horny, it's very fun. And then like they're both trying to get with Marilyn. I was a little annoyed though as the film went on. They never really tried to get with anyone else in the band besides Marilyn. And like I get it, she's the star, but I'm like, there's a dozen other women here. You've already admitted that they're attractive, and they are very attractive. Why are you not doing any sort of pass with the other ones? Jack eventually has a storyline where there's this millionaire that falls in love with him as a woman, and it is fun when he starts to fall for him as well, even talking about like getting married. And the last line of the movie is iconic. I won't say it here just in case you don't know it, but I think that was definitely well earned and a lot of fun and kind of wholesome, honestly. I mean, it is a joke, but like, I don't know, it's cute, it holds up. Tony's the one who more so does stuff with Marilyn. It was fine, I don't know. Again, I'm just not wrapped up in that whole thing, and it just doesn't do a whole lot for me. And I will say there were a lot of jokes that didn't really land for me, just in general. So like for me, I know this movie's iconic, it deserves its fame, but for me, it was just fine. It was all right. I'm glad I watched it, but I don't think it's a film that I'm really gonna be revisiting. Would I recommend it? I would say it's worth checking out if you're curious. It's definitely not a bad film by any means, and especially if you do like Marilyn more than I do, then for sure check it out. Then it'll probably land more solidly with you. But if you're kind of more mixed and neutral with her, you can if you're feeling it, but it's okay if you don't end up watching this one. So yeah, no, it's an alright little film that I would kind of recommend. And lastly is The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. This is a 1970 film, and the basic premise is these are stories that Watson wrote about their escapades that couldn't be released until 50 years after his death, so they're a bit more scandalous. It's labeled as a comedy, and I think it's trying to be funny, but man, the jokes were just not doing anything for me. And honestly, I think even before getting into more of the humor, the two leads really just didn't have it for me. Didn't have that X factor that I needed to really grab me and make me care about them. I think the premise of the film is fine for sure, but I wasn't into the lead, the story wasn't getting me, the humor wasn't getting me. What partly turned me off was one of the early like big joke things that happen is there's this famous ballerina that is gonna retire and she wants children, and since she's the most beautiful person, she wants the smartest mind to father the child. So she tries to hire Sherlock Holmes to be that person. He doesn't want to do it. She then decides to imply to her that him and Watson are gay. And then there's a ton of jokes about how they're gay, how Watson's so mad that he called them gay. It's just so much. I hate it. And like technically that is historically accurate in the sense of like high society people wouldn't want to be considered homosexual because it'll be bad stuff for them. It was just unending and not funny, and it just put such a bad taste in my mouth that I just couldn't with this film. So yeah, no, I didn't care for this movie and I wouldn't recommend it. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Kiss Me Stupid sitting at number 99 in the Kawaii-like section. And then after that is Some Like It Hot, sitting at number 110 in the liked section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, sitting at number 177 in the didn't like section. And this is out of a total of 189 old movies so far this year.